The government of Kenya came up with something which I consider to be a very brilliant idea. The National Integrated Identity Management System. This system intends to manage all our information from a central place. And in my view, it's a good idea. So that next time you are required to report to a new working station, for example, you will no longer be required to carry so many cards. You will no longer be required to carry your birth certificate, your identity card, your NSSF card, your NHIF card, your PIN number card. All those will be centrally managed, and you'll only be issued with one card, the Huduma Number or the Huduma card. That card was going to carry all our information. But because Kenyans don't trust their government, of course the government has made it that way. Because Kenyans no longer trust their own government. When the government asked Kenyans to register for this number, many Kenyans failed to register. And the government recently announced a second phase of registration. And this second phase is being opposed by the allies of the Deputy President William Ruto. According to the DP's allies, they believe that the intention of Huduma Number is basically a strategy to rig the Deputy President William Ruto in 2022.
We are aware that the government did use National Intelligence Service to do a public procurement. This was against the law, and we are not comfortable with the Huduma Number as it is now. The first time Huduma Number was issued has not been given to us. So we want Huduma Number 1 before the second Huduma is being given. One is, why would we not follow the law in terms of public procurement? Why would we use NIS? Number 2, why are they collecting the same data that they collected in the first Huduma Number? So we want Huduma Number because we are suspecting this aspect of bringing Michael Cole or the famous Mzungu around is to try and collect our data, which is likely to be used to rig votes meant for Dr. William Samoei Ruto. And that is why we are against. Because we are not sure why is this Huduma Number issue has not been brought before Parliament. Why was it not before the appropriation of the budget committee in the Parliament? And therefore, as leaders, we are not comfortable. Let the government release Huduma Number 1 first. Then they can now start Huduma Number 2. And they should tell us why are they using NIS instead of doing public procurement through a parent company as provided for by Public Procurement and Disposal Act, and in line with Public Finance Management Act, in line with Chapter 12 of Public Finance Management of the Constitution of Kenya. And therefore, we want to warn these people that we are very keen. They should not use Huduma as a ploy to rig our candidate for 2022 presidential election. And tutakaa macho.
Wajinga hakuna tena. Na nataka niseme huyo jamaa anaitwa Kola ambaye hawa jamaa wanataka kutumia. Unajua hakuna mwizi ambaye atatoka nje bila kushirikiana na mwizi wa nyumbani. Kwa hivyo hawa majamaa wanaotaka kuleta hizi stories za Huduma Number, hawa ni jamaa ambao wameshikana na international criminals, na wao wenyewe hapa tunawajua biashara zao. Kwa hivyo sisi si wajinga, tunakataa hizo stories za Huduma Number. Kwanza tunadai Huduma Number ile tumeandikisha kwanza.
This idea of Huduma Number did not begin yesterday. I am sure the idea began ahead of 2017 general election. And the Deputy President William Ruto was on record just the other day, stating clearly during an interview with Joe Ageyo that there is no way elections can be rigged in this country. But his allies are now coming out very clearly and openly to confess that indeed this Huduma Number could be a ploy by the system to rig out the Deputy President William Ruto in 2022. And Fred Matiang'i has responded. He has advised Kenyans to worry about misinformation, disinformation, and conspiracy theories being propagated against Huduma Number. The Deputy President is actually number 2 in command in this country. Why is the Deputy President allies then complaining if indeed the Deputy President is number 2 in command in this country? In my view, these guys are complaining because of 5 reasons. Number one, what we can gather now is that the deputy president is no longer in control of government. If the DP was in control of government today, he would be telling his guys that, relax, I know what these guys are intending to do with this. And because he's no longer in control, he really doesn't understand what's happening with this Huduma number. He's not sure whether this thing is being used. There are plans to use it for the purposes of 2022 general election. So far, over 30 million Kenyans have been registered through the National Integrated Identity Management System. So the deputy president is just right. He's no longer in control of the system. And because I always maintain here that in politics, nothing happens out of mere coincidence. There is no way Kimani Ichung'wah, there is no way the group of members of parliament can just wake up one day to go and address a press conference in the presence or without the presence of the deputy president without his authority. There is no way. So they intended to pass out a message to Kenyans. But from where I am, they are making noise because the deputy president has told them to do that, which means the deputy president no longer controls the government. That's number one. Number two, in my view, these guys are actually laying the ground to reject the outcome of 2022 general election. The deputy president of the Republic of Kenya is none other than the deputy president William Ruto. He's the second in command to President Uhuru Kenyatta. The deputy president has been part and parcel of the system. He was there and witnessed how Raila Odinga's victory was stolen. The deputy president has actually figured out that these guys might use the same strategy to rig him out. And because he was part of that system and defended the system, it would be very difficult for him to come out openly and talk about this rigging. That's why last time he claimed that there's no way elections can be rigged. But the only way, because the deputy president probably knows the outcome, he must start laying a strategy on how they are going to reject that outcome. How are they going to reject the outcome? Blame it on the Huduma number. It's just that simple. And the other day, I told people here, and people joked, that the results for 2022 general election was announced in one of the daily nations sometimes back when they gave the figures on how Raila Odinga was ahead of the deputy president in terms of votes, projected votes in 2022. I don't know whether they'll use the Huduma number, but the mere fact that the deputy president allies are coming out openly to reject this Huduma number, in my view, it's a strategy they are laying to reject the outcome of 2022 general election. So the deputy president has smelled defeat. Number three, why would the deputy president and his allies cry like babies over Huduma number? These guys were with the deputy president, majority of them were with the deputy president in Jubilee government. When Raila Odinga raised some questions, some of these guys denied. They called Raila Odinga names. In fact, I remember Ndindi Nyoro coming out as a young guy who had just been elected, hitting on NASA on their rigging schemes. So the fact of the matter is that these guys are actually confessing that there has been previous rigging in this country. Otherwise, if they were sure that there was no way elections can be rigged in this country, why would they even waste their time calling for the media, address the media on the issues of Huduma number? Why would they do that? So these guys are just confessing that indeed rigging has been part and parcel of this country. Raila Odinga made noise about it. They denied. So today they are coming out openly to talk about rigging. They are basically confirming that indeed in this country, rigging has been part and parcel of our electoral system because they were on the other side. Now, because they are out of government, they fear that this Huduma number is likely to be used to rig again, just like elections were rigged before. So that's number 3. Number 4, I also think very strongly that the Deputy President allies have now decided that the only way to fight President Uhuru Kenyatta is to scandalize every other project they are intending to do. One of them is Huduma Number. Huduma Number is a very good policy, if you ask me. It's a very good project, if you ask me. I'm talking as someone who is well versed with the issues of information technology. I've never understood why in this country, when you are arrested by the police, you must produce your identity card. Probably even the driving license if it's a traffic offense. If you go to hospital, in some cases, they'll even ask you for your birth certificate. If you die, and if your father died, like for example, if you're an orphan, I have some orphans in my house here. She wants to get ID. So it's a very tedious process because you'll be told, wewe enda utafute the death certificate. Someone whose dad died when she was like 7. The mother also died. So with this Huduma number, it would be easy to manage those information. So in a working system, because this is what is happening in the rest of the country, so that you make a mistake, then the government don't even have to follow you. Your vehicle hits someone and runs, the government don't even have to follow you. They just go into the system, key in the number of that vehicle, then all your information will come, where you stay, all those kind of details. But in this country, because we don't trust the government, it's fashionable to dismiss good things like the ones like Huduma Number. But the Deputy President allies are making noise because they want to scandalize every other project which the government is trying to initiate. They've realized that the government has lost the moral authority in the eyes of Kenyans. So that when you talk of spending 7 billion on Huduma Number, then it's easier to rally Kenyans against that move by scandalizing the entire thing. These guys are claiming that Raila Odinga is not talking about this Huduma Number procurement. Must Raila Odinga be the only one speaking? I listened to them yesterday. Must Raila Odinga be the only person who can speak on the vices facing the country? You and me can actually speak on these vices. But we can't scandalize every other project because we feel it's going to work against us. If a project is good, let's support it. If a project is bad, let's also oppose it. The government of Kenya must explain to Kenyans why they need Huduma Number and that your information will not be used against you, because this country, we even sell information to hitmen. And lastly, something is also convincing me that they are also laying the ground to oppose the Building Bridges initiative. So what a better way of starting with opposing this Huduma Number? So you tell people that watu wanaleta Huduma Number because, like, if you listen to them, in Kajiado, for those who listened to them in Kajiado, they were telling the people of Kajiado that the government wants to come up with Huduma Number. So once you have that Huduma Number, then your cows will be taken from you. What kind of leadership is that? Why lie to people because you know they are ignorant? Why lie? So basically, they were setting the Maasais against the Building Bridges initiative. That's exactly what they were doing. And I want you to challenge me. If these guys are not opposing this because they want to rally Kenyans against the Building Bridges initiative, Kenyans, because of the corruption which is rampant in this country, Kenyans will oppose any attempt by the government to spend even a single shilling on a project, whether good or bad. So it will be very easy to rally Kenyans against the Building Bridges initiative because of this Huduma Number. And that's what they want to do. I don't know whether tuko pamoja. I don't know whether tuko pamoja. Ama sisi wote pamoja. I don't know whether tuko pamoja. Ama sisi sote pamoja. If you're watching this video for the first time, please take a second or two and click the subscribe button now, so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. So just click subscribe button now and then check the bell button. That's the only time YouTube will automatically notify you. And to the subscribers, I want to continue. Thank you guys for your continued support. Without that support, this channel cannot be where it is today. Thank you guys, and please, may you have a good day. And by the way, today is my son's birthday. He's turning 7. For those who've been on this channel, last year we also celebrated his birthday on this channel. So thank you guys as I prepare to celebrate the day with his friends. They are just around here. Wamenyamaza tu. Good day.